Hello, beautiful Limeys. It's Dr. Christine Arsenault, PharmD, Functional Medicine Certified Health Coach. Today, as I was sitting at my desk, I saw a red-tailed hawk outside on my deck, just super close to me, and it made me stop and watch it. And I was just thinking about how nature brings us into the present moment. It was like just this beautiful creature, this bird, so close to me. And so I just kind of was fixated on that, was brought into the present moment where I was just aware of nature and what was going on outside my window. And I knew he wouldn't be sitting there long, so I wanted to admire him. And then he looked at me at one point. He could hear me even through the glass and my dog, so then he ended up flying away. But that moment just reminded me of the present moment and how powerful it is, and how nature and mindfulness were such a part of my healing, and how people are very focused on the protocol, but you have to remember there's mind-body medicine, mind-body spirit. So if you're just focused on the body, you're missing, 2/3 of the puzzle. So you have to realize that your mind is part of it, and your spirit or your soul is a part of healing as well. And if you're only focused on the protocol and the physical, and you're ignoring the rest, and you are repressing emotions, or maybe you have childhood traumas you haven't dealt with, subconscious beliefs that are holding you back, negative thought patterns, stories that you've told yourself, just suffering that you're putting yourself through. If you have these things, but you're only focused on the physical, chances are you're not going to be able to fully heal. You're not going to be able to get well if you've been sick for a while. And so once you're able to make that connection, it's really powerful. And for me, it was a whole new world when I was able to be mindful. And that was a big part of my healing. So just being fully present without, it's a different world when you're in your head and you have all these thoughts and these worries, and you're thinking about what's going to happen. And maybe it's stories that you've told yourself. Maybe you're stressing about something that hasn't happened yet, or you're reliving a moment from your past and you're in your head, then you're missing the actual moment that goes by. So when you're able to shift that and be fully mindful, it's so powerful. And it sounds so subtle, but it's truly a new world. Like when you actually live it, you actually are enjoying the moment and fully present and noticing things going on around you. And then there's really no room for judgment when you're fully there and you're an observer. Hi, Matthew. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for tuning in. So spirit is the other part of that. There's the mind, body, spirit. And for me, again, that was nature, connecting to source, the power that nature has. Nature is miraculous. Nature has power. And when I was able to connect to that and I kind of had to grieve the part of me that had been dismissive of nature for so long. I realized I hadn't really connected with nature since I was a kid. And then I just kind of lived my adult world where I was inside a lot and wearing shoes, not barefoot on the earth. And there's this disconnection, and we forget how powerful the earth is, how powerful nature is. And there's actually studies on it in Japan with forest bathing. And so the earth has this endless supply of electrons, negative ions. And so if you walk barefoot, you pick up those negative ions and they neutralize the free radicals in your body. So the earth is like the most powerful antioxidant that you could have, and it's really powerful for your immune system as well. So just connecting with the earth, standing barefoot, and even if it's cold out, even if you can just like pick up rocks, touch the earth with your hands, do whatever you can to be in nature. If you can be in a lake or ocean or something, that's great too, any water, but that can be really powerful for healing as well. And then addressing emotions too. So emotions are energy and motion. And I had to learn to let those emotions move through me. And for me, I did a lot of crying. I did a lot of feeling emotions. And you can get to that place without having to relive those traumas, without having to really feel it. if you can just learn to be an observer. And so that's something that me and my colleague Summer teach in our program, Busting Through Barriers, Beliefs, and Bullshit. And we teach you how to be an observer of those emotions and how to change that energy and let it transform and let it move through you. And if you're able to get unstuck, that can be so powerful for healing. So again, it's this mind, body, spirit, where if you're not addressing the emotions, then you can't get anywhere if you're only looking at the physical and you're only doing a physical protocol if there's an emotion that's causing your symptoms. The main thing to remember is that healing is more than just physical, and there's definitely things that we can do on a physical level that can help, but we also need to address our mind and our spirit in order to truly heal. So sometimes you just have to unlearn the bullshit that you were taught in the world. Maybe it's from society or what you learned in school or your parents or whatever other people's beliefs that were put on you, and your own barriers that you've put up through maybe childhood things that you've gone through and messages that you've received when you were younger from other people. And so a lot of the healing is not just becoming who you are meant to be, but letting go of who you're not supposed to be and unlearning all that bullshit that you were taught, and telling yourself those stories that you've been telling yourself that really are not true. They're just stories. We make up narratives that mean things when something happens, when really it doesn't mean that at all. It's a story that we've told ourselves, and it's a story that causes pain and keeps us in that cycle. And Dr. Dispenza talks about how we're addicted to certain emotions. And so we need to become aware of those negative thoughts. We need to break those cycles. We need to learn how to observe our emotions and let them move through us.